Hey sports fans, this is straight from the basement with Tommy Ommy. I'm a sports fan who always said, if I never played a sport professionally, then I want to talk about it. I'm born and raised in New York City. Played organized basketball for several well-known teams in the mid-'70s and the early '80s, such as the legendary Home Cold Rucker Tournament, Melbank, Stone Gym and Riverside Church, LaGuardia House, and my all-time favorite, Each One Teach One. Having sports in my life at an early age always kept me out of trouble. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was either playing football or baseball. Hey sports fans, this is straight from the basement with Tommy Ommy, where my opinions, views, and facts will cover the hottest, the latest, and the past sports events. Welcome once again. I want to continue to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed to my podcast. And if this is the first time you viewing it, please do the same. As always, before I even get into today's topic, I got one hot topic I must talk about. I'm talking about my Los Angeles Lakers being eliminated first round. Man, I'm still pissed. You know why I'm still pissed? Because when you look at the up-and-coming playoff schedule, my Lakers is not on that shit. So I'm pissed. That just irks me. Oh, that just irks me right now. I mean, I think I need another 2-3 weeks to let it go. But it irks me when I don't see my Lakers on that playoff schedule. My God, it irks me. Listen, Rob Pelinka, he's to blame. He's to blame the reason why my Lakers is out first round. Number one, take you back to the bubble years when Magic Johnson got AD and he hooked them up with Dwight Howard and McGee, JaVale McGee. AD was able to play his power forward position where he loves to be. But then when we won the championship and Rob Pelinka and crew decided to bust the bubble, get rid of Howard, get rid of McGee, get rid of Pope, Caruso, and on and on. What the hell? So, AD is forced now to play center. Now, you try to pacify it by getting a Marc Gasol and Andre Drummond, and AD is back, forced to play center. Fast forward, January of this year, AD, frustration, all-time high, went in front of the microphones, in front of the media, and said, hey, I've only been crying for a center since the bubble. We know it works. It worked because we had because we had Howard and we had McGee. It worked. It worked. And I only been bitching and crying for a center for the last 3-4 years, and I still haven't gotten that. Now, when AD did that, and I saw that, and I said, yo, he's done. You don't do that when you a Laker. Laker oath is you keep all your grievance in-house. The minute you spit it out to the media, the minute you are done. That goes back, rest in peace, Daddy Bus, Jerry Bus. You don't do that. So I knew AD time was up. Pelinka, on the other hand, chatter in the air for about a half a year, almost to a year, with Nico Harrison in his ear. Let's make this move. Let's make this move. I want AD. You can get Luka. I don't want him. Rob, at this time in January, was like, okay, let's make this happen. Jeannie said, okay, let's make this happen. My issue, I never wanted AD to leave. You know what I'm saying? That was that anchor, man. That man, defense first, offense second. And ain't too many big men out here that you can just go and grab. Nobody's giving up big men like that. Rob Pelinka, you knew this. My issue with you is this. since you and Jeannie knew you was making this move, once he opened his mouth in front of the media, you should have went and got a big man first. A big man on a Mark Williams level. Didn't have to be Mark Williams, but somebody on his level. You wasn't getting no one on AD's level, but get somebody on his level. You should have make AD think that he's going to remain on the team, right? But get the big man. Get the big man signed. Then hit the whole world with the blockbuster trade. You know what I'm saying? You did it backwards, dude. So when you made that move, you had us left with Young Pup. I call him Young Pup because he ain't mentally and physically ready to be a starting center. That's Jackson Hayes. He just ain't ready. Okay? Just ain't ready. So you left us with him. Then you got the 40-year-old who I'm not feeling sorry for at all, forced to also play center from time to time. Not advocating for LeBron at all. What I'm trying to say is this. You knew it was going to be an issue. You getting another big man to help or start and have Jackson Hayes come off the bench. What took place with Mark Williams about the physical? You changed your mind for whatever reason. Okay, you changed your mind. But you left us vulnerable, man. And it showed so much in this Minnesota Timberwolves series to the point where it was like, yo, the fifth game, I sat right here very quietly. Didn't get excited. When we tied the ball game up, I got up a little bit. I says, oh, maybe. Then I'm saying to myself, we ain't winning tonight. We ain't winning tonight. This season is over. I felt it, knew it. You know what I'm saying? Felt it, knew it. And I said to myself, Rob Pelinka, man, what have you done? You really think this offseason that you're going to be able to get a big man to replace AD? Big men, for the most part, are locked in contracts. These owners GMs ain't giving up big men like that. They ain't giving up big men like that. They just ain't giving them up like that. And so, I don't know what you thinking, what you gonna get in this offseason. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think who you think you're getting. And so my problem is with Rob Pelinka. Plus he got an extension. Jeannie, I know you love Rob. Okay, and I ain't gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? But you gave this man an extension, right? He ain't really think this through. Both of y'all didn't think this through when you make that move. Yes, Luke is going to put a lot of people in the seats. Yes, that's the magic. Luka magic. But yo, listen, what are we saying here? Are we saying just to put people in seats, get eliminated first round, maybe second for the next few years to come, and that's satisfying to y'all? Laker Nation, we deserve better. So I'm pissed off with Rob Pelinka. Really pissed off with Rob Pelinka. Pissed off with him. Man, I'm pissed off with him. So let's get started with today's topic. I'm talking about the NBA semifinals 2025. NBA semifinals 2025. Well, listen, the stage is set. Semifinal round is set, both in the Eastern and Western Conference. Listen, this is the round for all you NBA heads, for all you basketball heads. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is the round when you get to see certain players on the court who really don't want to be on the court. Too much pressure. For those who've been getting minutes, shooting the ball a lot, the decrease in shooting starts in this round. Certain players, they get kind of nervous. They don't want to mess up. The tension is a mother between the crowd, You know what I'm saying? And this every possession, this semifinal. Remember, this is to go to the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals. No one wants to screw up. Stars are gonna be stars. But there's those other players, bench players, maybe 2 or 3 of the starters. Listen, that nerves kick in. A lot of them can't take their games to the next level. We see this year after year. The semifinal round. This is the round where you start to see who can raise their game to the next level and who cannot. You think the first round was something? Listen, we ain't seen nothing yet. So, for this round, I needed some help dissecting each series and the player matchups. Listen, I gotta introduce my guest to y'all. Veterans. These are veterans who know NBA. Don't be fooled by the young faces. They know their basketball in and out. That's the only way you become a guest on this show. You gotta know your sports. These cats know their sports. We're gonna have a good time. I gotta introduce you to the crew. First, I got my nephew, Lil T, from the Boogie Down Bronx. Second, I got the editor, the footage, the man behind this podcast who do it all damn near. From St. Louis, Missouri, my main man, Rel. Also, I got my nephew from the Boogie Down Bronx, Caleb. And last, I got the producer, the one who started it all. My son, my oldest, Lil Tom. How y'all doing, people? Talk to me. How y'all doing?
Great.
Everybody good?
All is well.
Listen. Y'all already know. Y'all got to bring this energy, y'all. Y'all already know. Okay, this is the semifinals, right? As we speak, we got the Pacers and the Cavs going at it right now. Later on tonight, we got a game 7, but we couldn't wait for this game 7 to be finished because the semifinal round has begun. So let's get in and let's get busy with these questions. Listen, because you know I'm hitting you hard. And so y'all got to give me the meat and potatoes with the cranberry sauce. I know this ain't Thanksgiving, but give it to me, y'all. Lil T, I'm starting with you. First question. Which team in the Eastern Conference was eliminated in the first round that you really thought had a chance to make it in the semifinal round? Talk to me.
So I don't know if everybody else is gonna agree with this, but I had a good feeling about Orlando only because Jason Tatum got hurt. Not because I really thought they were gonna beat the Celtics in a 7-game series, but I thought when that injury happened, they could take advantage of it. They played tough D. They grinded, man. Like they gave it a good shot, but you know Boston's a juggernaut. They've been a juggernaut in the East for a couple of years now. So that was my takeaway from it. I wanted Orlando to upset Boston. Also, being from New York, I love to see Boston lose. So you know I was going for that. Everyone for the Lakers. So it was a double whammy. I wanted to see Boston go, but they still hanging around.
Okay, so you thought maybe the Magic was gonna pull it out. Okay, all right.
Sometimes you need a puncher's chance, some luck or bad luck for the Celtics, some injuries.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I wrote that down. The Magic. I asked this question for a reason. I get to y'all in a second. Yes, Rel. Same question. Who you thought in the Eastern Conference that got eliminated in the first round that you thought really had a chance to get to the semifinal round? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I really didn't foresee the Bucks going out the way they did in this first round. Like, granted, the Pacers are nice. Tyrese Halliburton is nice, but I really didn't see that first round with Milwaukee happening just in that fashion. So I would say that was my main shocker. I had the Celtics winning. You know, I had Cleveland doing their thing.
Okay.
That was like the main game that I was kind of like back and forth on, and also had the Knicks going to the next round too. So that was just my main hang up that caught me off kind of off guard.
Okay, so you thought maybe the Bucks was going to make it to this semifinal round.
Yeah, and I figured they'll get bounced this round, but I
Okay.
didn't see them losing that first round.
You didn't see them losing their first round. Okay, all right. Well, Lillard was kind of banged up, so that had a lot to do with it. And then again, me with coaches. I don't believe Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is in my books, he's a good coach. I don't want to leave it like that. Same question, Neff. Caleb, same question. Same question. Who you thought in the Eastern Conference that got eliminated in the first round that you thought might have made it to the semifinal round? Talk to me.
Yeah, I agree. I gotta go with Rel on this one. I definitely thought Milwaukee was gonna go to the next round. I definitely didn't see them losing in 5 games. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
4-1, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to see Milwaukee go to the next round. I didn't think they was gonna lose to Indiana.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Well, even though Indiana went to the Eastern Conference last year, just ain't see it this year for them. Okay. All right.
They keep getting lucky. They keep getting a good matchup or something. I don't think they that team that really go there.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Same question, Lil Tom. Same question, Thomas. Who you thought in the Eastern Conference that got eliminated first round that you thought was going to make it into this round?
Yeah, it's the same for me. I was very surprised to see Milwaukee Bucks kicked up out of there. I know Damian Lillard, he got that injury, but I think they still was going to lose after watching a few of the games. And so, but I didn't have too much faith in them, winning a championship or nothing like that. But I definitely thought they was going to get out the first round for sure. So,
Okay.
I'm interested to see what happens with that team now.
Okay. All right. Before I get to the Western Conference, the reason why I asked this question, because I almost was spot on. I figured at least 2 of y'all, but it was 3 of y'all that was going to say the Bucks, that was not going to give the Pacers no respect. And I knew this because, people, even though they went to the Eastern Conference last year, right, people still didn't take the Pacers serious coming into this season, right? When I listen to, and I don't talk about who's on what media outlet that I listen to, right? But Pacers was never in their vocabulary. Like Giannis was just going by himself, which is going to just do them young fellas. And I said, they are bugging. Pacers, you got Matrin back, right? I said, Pacers is deep. They deep. They deep. Siakam, listen. They well coached, so I had a feeling. I thought 2 of y'all was going to say the Bucks, but 3 of y'all said the Bucks. So that was my reasons for really asking this question. And I got the Western Conference. I just got to see what y'all say, right? So I want to move on. Thank y'all for the first questions, your responses for the first question. I want to move on to the second question. Second question, Lil T, which team in the Western Conference that was eliminated in the first round that you really thought had a chance to make it in this semifinal round? Talk to me.
So you might not like this answer because of how we are, but and I'm always gonna root for the Lakers, but I knew that matchup wasn't a favorable matchup for us, especially having no bigs.
You talked
So
about it.
I thought the Clippers, which they just got bumped last night, but I thought the Clippers, I don't know what they figured out towards the end of the season. And Kawhi, they were saying, Kawhi was saying himself, this is the first time in a long time he's been healthy during the postseason.
Right.
I thought they were going to bump the Nuggets. I was shocked that the Nuggets handled them in Game 7 like that. I really thought they were just going to get them out of there. And I thought the Clippers was going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. I hear that. So Clippers was your team you thought was going to go to the next round. Okay, in the Western. Okay. Thank you for that. Same question, Rel. Same question. Talk to me.
Man, so I'm gonna kind of throw a wrench in it. I really didn't foresee this Golden State and Houston series going to 7 games when they was up
Uh-huh.
1. So that's my main thing. 'Cause I really figured that, like, even though the Rockets young and they got a lot of explosion behind them, I figured that Golden State would like do easy work with them, or at least finish this within 5 or 6 games.
You
I
thought that?
Yeah, I did. Like, I
Yeah.
also just believe in Steph Curry in a different type of level. I'll explain that later on, but I didn't see that happening. Like this coming down to 7 games and Golden State probably going home tonight. So that was my
Okay.
main thing. And also the Clippers too. The Clippers caught me off guard also.
All
So
right.
I was really hoping in Kawhi.
Okay, so you had the Clippers going to the next round, and the Warriors sound like going to the next round. Well, we know that hasn't happened yet. We're going to see later on tonight. Okay, thank you for that, Rel. Same question, Caleb. Western Conference, talk to me.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me.
Uh-huh.
I got faith in Minnesota. I like Ant over there. Ant, like he about to be my next favorite player. He already is kind of, but I was surprised to see the Lakers get up out of there, and I'm still disappointed about it. I ain't back to myself yet, but it's all right. We gonna roll with it. But I definitely was surprised to see the Lakers get up out of there, especially in 5 games. I thought it would be the other way around. Like how like homie on TV say Lakers in 5. I thought
Uh-huh.
that's what it was, but I guess not. That's
Uh-huh.
all right though. It's all
Yeah.
right. I'm rooting for Ant now.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we had the Lakers. And we're going to finish it off with you, Thomas. Who you thought in the Western Conference who got eliminated in the first round would have been in this semifinal round right now?
Listen, come on. We already know what the answer is. Everybody knows what the answer to this one is. I told everybody that it wasn't gonna work. I play NBA 2K now for about going on 15 years, and it does a very good job at simulating reality. And when I got to see Luka and LeBron with that lineup, I knew it wasn't gonna work. But to the question for Tommy Ommy's podcast right now, I'll tell you this. I was surprised that I was right so fast because that was just crazy. That dude, Anthony Edwards, he's definitely the face of the NBA, whether he likes it or not. And it's just very impressive to see the dog mentality that he has at such a young age and the strength that he has at such a young age, and also his ability to get to the rack and dunk how he does, but also shoot how he does. I don't think that we've seen a player like him since Jordan or Kobe. Um, and so, yeah, I was very surprised to see, you guys as Lakers get bumped like that the first round. And, very interested to see if Anthony Edwards can take it to the next level, this next round.
Okay, all right. So two of y'all got the Lakers, and two of y'all had the Clippers. Okay, all right. That's about right. What I thought was gonna come out your mouths when I put these questions together. Because the other rounds, the other series, right, both East and West, right? I had a feeling that the Bucks was going to dominate your responses, and Lakers, Clippers. I had that feeling because, and I said it in my last show. I had Denver, game 7, 3 minutes left in the game. The Murray and the Joker show. Because that series, it was so tight. It was so close. But I didn't see what happened last night. I don't think most people saw that coming. I didn't see people. I don't think no one saw that blowout in Game 7. I listen. You can raise your hand all you want. I did not see it, but Harden, he started fading away. It was like he left it or everything up to Kawhi. Kudos to Kawhi Leonard. The knee held up. You know what I'm saying? but it only held up for one series. For one round. Kawhi I was so happy to see him play. You know what I'm saying? And like the old Kawhi. But I did have Denver winning the series. You know what I'm saying? Lakers, yes, of course, that was. Caleb, listen, it's going to take me 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I said it earlier in the show. What's really irking me right now, Lil T, you know how they have the NBA schedule, the up-and-coming semifinal round schedule, Tuesday and Thursday, right? And not to see the Lakers on the schedule. Oh, that's pissing me off. That's just pissing me off. I said, these sons of bitches ain't even on the schedule. I'm pissed off. Anyway, I don't. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't even get me started. Yeah, so thank y'all for questions number 1 and 2. Now we gonna get into the meat and potato of the show. Third question, Lil T, the Eastern Conference. It's a very simple question. Who's moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals? Please explain.
All right. So I definitely got Boston.
Celtics.
I got Boston in the finals. Who's opposite? Give me the.
Well. It was only. Well, listen. In the Eastern Conference, you got the Pacers and the Cavs that's going on right now, and then you got the Knicks and the Celtics. So the question is, who's going to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Cavs Boston. It's gonna be Cavs Boston. That's a no-brainer. It's gonna be.
Oh, so it's a no-brainer for you. It's the Cavs and the Celtics.
Yup.
Okay, and why is that? That is a no-brainer. Pacers got no chance. The Knicks got no chance. Is what you saying?
The Knicks struggle. The Knicks struggle. They struggle to beat Detroit. I know Detroit's young. I know they a tough team. Cade he's a problem. He's gonna be a problem for the next couple of years. But the Knicks struggle. They're still finding their identity. I feel like just because Cat this is his first playoff run with them, so it's gonna take a little. It takes a little while. Some teams get it faster than others. It's gonna take a little minute. And the Cavs, that's with the Knicks Celtics series. But the Cavs, they've been playing good. Oh, they was neck and neck with OKC for the best record in the NBA. Like the Cavs is a problem. Like Donovan Mitchell is proven. He was proven since Utah. He just needs to be put in the right situation. So I don't see anything stopping the Cavs. I think the only team that could take out the Celtics in the East is the Cavs. The Cavs got the only shot. I think if Donovan Mitchell shows up and if you get Garland back and he's at least 80% healthy, I think they could take out the Celtics.
Okay. Well, thanks for explaining. You said no-brainer like the Knicks and the Pacers got no chance. Same question, Rel. Talk to me. Guarding the Eastern Conference. Pacers versus the Cavs. Knicks versus the Celtics. Who's meeting up in the Eastern Conference Finals? Talk to me.
I have Cleveland and New York. The Knicks, I believe the Knicks was my preseason pick to go all the way this year, if you remember from the episode we had recorded.
Yeah, I thought you was bugging then. I think you bugging now, but go ahead.
I still got the Knicks going. Brunson been hooping like crazy. Cat is spotty. Cat will show up for you some days he will go disappear. But I feel like that the series they had with Detroit kind of shook him up, got him scared a little bit to let him know, all right, it's playoff time, it's serious, we got to lock in. So I got New York and Cleveland going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, all right. Same question, Caleb.
Yeah. So Cavs, Indiana. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I still don't got no faith in the Pacers. I don't think they're gonna do it.
Okay.
Cleveland just a better all-around team. And the Knicks and Boston, I think it's gonna be a closer series than people think. New York, they don't got that same grit they had last year. So I think it's gonna be a little bit tougher for them in the playoffs. But I do think that with Cat, they got a little bit better offense, spreading the floor. I think it's gonna go at least 6-7 games, but that dude behind you on the wall right there, I believe in him. I'm gonna go Cavs, Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm still from New York, so I got Knicks.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I threw him up here. Not that I'm advocating for the Knicks, but he's been Mr. Clutch all year. I mean, this dude has just been something else. I mean, no matter who you put on him, I'm like, God damn, no one's seen this when he was with Villanova. You know what I'm saying? When he's with Dallas, no one's seen this. This dude is unbelievable. My God. Yeah. Same question, Thomas. Same question. You got the Pacers, Cavaliers, Knicks versus the Celtics. Who's moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Hey, Caleb, I'm from New York too, but I know that the Knicks don't have nothing for Boston. If we was talking about a Knicks squad with Julius Randle as the third or fourth option, then maybe. But that Boston squad, man, it's like I don't think that we've seen a team that stacked on the Eastern Conference in like over 20 years. I can't think of one. And I add to that your boy LeBron, if he dealt with that Eastern Conference type of squad his whole career, he wouldn't have that many rings. But that's a whole nother topic, right?
Right.
So when it comes to the Knicks and the Celtics, I don't see them being able to deal with the Celtics. They're a bigger team. I just don't see it. That would truly be surprising, even with Tatum with an injury, because they still got a squad. And then on the other end, with Cleveland, I know Cleveland's been doing their thing, man. But what's his name, Donovan Mitchell, man. He's unstoppable. I've watched him a few games live here in Houston, and he's unstoppable when he's playing against guards his size or smaller. He bodies them to the basket. He's going to give you 40 and 50. But as soon as he got some bigger bodies as guards playing defense, he not the same. It's not the same outcome. And I'm looking at the score right now for the game going right now, game one, and they currently down. And so I do not see them beating and coming out on top, the Cavaliers. I don't see that happening for them. I think what they did this season was great, and it looks great, but it ain't about to get them to the finals. I don't see that happening.
So you got the Celtics and the Pacers.
I got the Celtics and the Pacers. The Pacers are playing unselfish basketball, led by their point guard, he's a true point guard. He's a big, what is he, 6'6"?
Yeah.
Halliburton. He's looking like, I don't want to give him Magic Johnson, but he's looking like a big point guard that's making the right play and has the ugliest jump shot that goes in. So, I don't see nobody taking them down except for the Celtics.
All right. Well, listen, the Pacers and the Cavs, the matchups is as follows. You got Miles Turner versus Jared Allen. Power forward, Siakam versus Mobley. Small forwards, Aaron Nesmith versus Max Strus. Shooting guards, Andrew Nembhard versus Darius Garland, who's not playing, or Sam Merrill, right? And then you got your point guards, Halliburton against Mitchell. Does that change anything for anybody, or you're sticking and staying with who you guys stated who's going?
I think the injuries changed something for sure. But to piggyback off what Lil Tom said, he made a good point, and he just brought something back to me. Donovan Mitchell kind of been like that, like consistently his whole career. Like even in Utah, they were like the number one seed a few seasons, and then he always comes up short in the playoffs. So he just reminded me. He said that like I've seen this movie before with Donovan Mitchell. I've seen him kill in the regular season. Not that he's not a great player, but I don't know if he runs out of gas or if he just can't make his teammates that much better in the playoffs. But he always hits the wall. I've never seen him get over that hump. So I'm thinking this year is going to be the year he gets over it, but maybe it's not. Maybe he's same old song and bird.
Well, you sound like you talking about James Harden.
That's what I feel like I'm talking about. The way Donovan he keeps disappearing. Well, not disappearing, but he keeps coming up short.
Yeah, well, we're going to see. We're going to see. And then the Knicks versus the Celtics. Tell me if this changes your mind. You got the Cat at the center position versus Kristaps Porzingis. Power forwards is Josh Hart versus Jason Tatum or Al Horford. And that's because, remember, Drew Holiday in the point guard position, right, is questionable starting tomorrow's series, right? So then you got your small forwards in OG versus Jaylen Brown, and then your shooting guards is Mikal Bridges versus Derek White, who's probably going to be the point guard because of Drew Holiday being questionable. So does that change anybody's mind? Drew not being there because, listen, Jalen Brunson, this dude's going to be a problem. This ain't going to be a 1-2-3 series. I truly, it's just not going to be a 1-2-3 series. I know the Celtics is highly favored, you know what I'm saying? And we know the coach Tibbs, he burns his starting five, but I believe these guys are so conditioned to the point whereas the Celtics, they're going to have a little issue. It's going to be an issue. I know they was in a dogfight with the Detroit Pistons, but it's going to be an issue. This is not going to be a 1-2-3. It's just not going to be a 1-2-3. And Drew Holiday not being there to slow down Jalen Brunson, because you ain't stopping him. You can slow him down. And Drew, he's famous for slowing him down, but remember, Drew is hurt. You know what I'm saying? And he's questionable. He's hurt. You know what I'm saying? And my dude coming off the bench, the other point guard, the shooter, who I'm talking about, Pritchett, what's his name? Pritchett? I'm saying his name right? Listen, he ain't stopping him. So that's an issue, okay? He's the issue, okay? But he also got to understand that he's a point guard, that he's supposed to involve the other four players, get them going. And a lot of times he doesn't do that, especially when he's in his zone and he's smoking. And that's why you see the Cat Man ended up with 10 points for the remainder for the whole night, because this dude is just going berserk and forgetting about the others. I think that's going to bite them, but we're going to see. Okay, we're going to see. Anyway, thank y'all for your responses for question number 3. Same questions for question number 4. In the Western Conference, who's moving on to the Western Conference Finals? I want to talk about the matchups before I even get your thoughts, Lil T. Nuggets versus the Thunder. That's set already. The centers position matchups. You already know it. It's the Joker versus Isaiah Hartenstein, right? You got power forwards Aaron Gordon going at it against Slim Man, Chet Holmgren, right? Small forwards Michael Porter Jr., who got a real shoulder issue right now, versus Jalen Williams. My God. Then you got shooting guards Lou Dort going against Christian Braun. And then you already know the point guard matchups. Forget about it. Murray against Shea. Then on the other, which has not been resolved yet, it's going to be resolved tonight. Rockets and the Warriors, either or, against the Ant-Man and crew, right? So I want to talk about that. So the center positions is as follows. You got Quentin Post from the Warriors, if it is the Warriors, or Sagoon going against Rudy Gobert with the Timberwolves. Think about that, y'all. Power forwards is Draymond Green or Dillon Brooks going against Julius Randles, right? Small forward, Jimmy Butler or Amon Thompson going against Jaden McDaniels for the Wolves. Shooting guards, Brandon or Jalen Green going against the Ant-Man. And then you got the power point guards, Steph Curry or Fred VanVleet versus Mike Conley. So question, Lil T, who's moving on in the Western Conference Finals? Talk to me.
It's tough. This is a tough one. I don't know, man, because I don't. OKC is they're dominating, but they're so young. They have so much to prove.
Right.
Ant-Man got a lot to prove. He went in and the way he played LeBron this year and played KD last year with no fear in his heart, with everything to prove to the world, especially like what's been going on with him off the court a lot this year, with like a lot of off the court distractions, he still was able to like lock in, not care about any of that and take the king out. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. So we got
We got the Nuggets versus the Thunder. And then we got the Warriors or the Rockets. Timberwolves waiting for one of them by the end of the night.
I think it's gonna be Nuggets versus Timberwolves.
Nuggets versus Timberwolves. Nuggets versus Timberwolves.
Nuggets is proven they've been there before. They just had a tough series against the Clippers, who was a real contender, and they was able to figure it out. I just think OKC's too young, even though they're
Now,
super talented.
okay.
And
Now
then
that
Ant-Man is tip.
Uh-huh. So that Nuggets and Timberwolves, if you're right, that was last year's first round, correct? Yeah, and the Wolves beat them, correct? Okay, all right. We'll be going to see. Same question, Rel. Same question. Who is going to the Western Conference Finals? Talk to me and why.
Yeah, so I'm deciding it's going to be Denver and Minnesota, but I was similar to Terrence. I was kind of torn between the Denver and OKC game. I
right.
believe Joker is going to edge it out. Him and Michael Porter and Jamal. I feel like they're going to put the gas on the pedal deep into the series, and it's going to be them versus Minnesota. But I believe this is Ant-Man's year for the West, though.
So you got the Nuggets. Both of y'all got the Nuggets so far beating the Thunder. Interesting. Okay, Caleb, same question.
Yeah, this is by far the hardest question of the night. You
Yeah.
know, we ain't even get no time to think about it really, because Nuggets just won last night.
I know.
Then Golden State Rockets, that game you don't even know who's gonna play yet. So it's like, damn, like
Yeah.
um, you know, I respect OKC. They got a good team. They young, but I don't got 100% faith in them. I didn't have it all season because playoff time at this it's a different game. It's a different basketball. It's different basketball being played. Shea is nice. I'm not gonna disrespect him and say he be foul baiting like everybody else say, but I don't know if he's gonna get all those calls. I don't know if he's gonna go to the line as much in the playoffs. But then again, I don't really see Nuggets with no lockdown defender to guard him. Jamal Murray is not like a top defender.
Right.
So I think Shea is still gonna get his. They got a really solid full team over there though, OKC. But I'm gonna say Nuggets if we had to go with the experience. Jokic showed us last night that when it's time, he gonna do what he gotta do. It's tough. I don't even know if yeah.
Yeah, y'all. I see you going back and forth. So what? You still ain't make up your mind who going to the Western Conference Finals?
I'm gonna go with Denver,
Going with the Nuggets.
I gotta make a choice. I'm gonna go with Denver. And then so
It's either the Warriors or the Rockets against the Timberwolves. Who going? If you don't know, you don't know.
no, no, I'm gonna choose somebody. And I'm gonna go with Ant.
You going with the Ant-Man.
They had a better matchup against the Lakers. I will be honest. I think that I think that Houston and Golden State both got better defenders to guard Ant. You got Jimmy, you got Draymond, you got Amin Thompson, you got Dylan Brooks. They got people to throw at him. Ant wasn't scared of Austin Reeves, Luka, LeBron. He wasn't scared of nobody on the Lakers. Ain't nobody put fear in him over there. But they don't really got a full team like that. But I believe in Ant-Man. I think he gonna go after them. So yeah,
Okay.
I got Minnesota and Nuggets. I'm sorry.
Minnesota and the Nuggets. Okay, so that's 3 out of 3. Thomas, how you ending it? Same question. Western Conference Finals. Who's going?
Yeah, I got Minnesota. I gotta put respect on Minnesota. I got a lot of respect for OKC, but it's just something about Alexander, that he just it's like he nice, but he not the same kind of dog as Ant-Man. And that's the difference between rings from what I've seen in my lifetime. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with Minnesota, and I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. And they're just so stacked. They got this dude Porter Jr. His whole career just sitting there. Like, I don't think people even pay attention to how they just got him off sitting in the corner and on the wing the whole game, just waiting and poised and chill, not going to the tabloids, talking about he want to be traded because dude is nice, And so they remind me of Boston, and how deep they are. They got so many players over there that could drop 30, And so I just think ultimately we're looking at the Nuggets going to the finals, but I definitely think if Ant-Man, I think it's very hard to decide. I'll wrap it up and say it's very hard to decide, although I put it like that, between Ant-Man and Alexander over at OKC, because we're pretty much looking at that time period right now, a very short time period right now, that's going to decide whose league it is. And we don't know which one of them is capable of what at this level we about to see. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna say Ant-Man and I'm gonna say the Nuggets, but we could be talking soon from now and be like, yo, it's a whole nother situation. OKC's in there. So we just gotta see what happens.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your responses. Now, I want to piggyback on questions 3 and 4. None of y'all have faith in the Pacers other than Lil Thomas. And then no one has faith in OKC in the Western, who've won, who was like the top team all year round, who just swept the Grizzlies. No one has faith. Who's loaded? Yes, they the youngest. I'm trying to understand that. The Nuggets, yeah, they got the Joker. I'm just going to give you my opinion on questions 3 and 4. I truly believe who's going to the Eastern Conference will be the Celtics once again. And I gotta go. I'm going with the Pacers. I'm going with the Pacers. Why? Because they is just as deep as the Cavs, and the Pacers, well coached. Number 2, and my main reason is because I know Tyrese Halliburton is so unselfish. You know what I'm saying? Getting his crew going, and I really didn't look at this dude until the first round. I didn't really knew he had a jump shot. Every time I've been seeing him, it's been set shots. He's developed a jump shot now. You know what I'm saying? And so I truly believe the Pacers going to beat. There was no fluke them going into the Eastern Conference Finals last year. There was no fluke. I truly believe they got that Miles Turner with Siakam. Listen, I truly believe they gonna beat the Cavs. Not that the Cavs season was just a fluke, right? I just truly believe Pacers beat them because they match up well and they bench is just as deep as the Cavs bench, but they gonna beat them because they move a little bit more faster. They depend too much on Donovan Mitchell. right? If he ain't going, it seems like they ain't going. And Garland being hurt, I got Pacers beating them. I got the Pacers and the Celtics. And on the Western Conference, I got OKC going to the goddamn Western Conference, playing against the Ant-Man. That's what I got. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got. I got OKC. They bench is deep. Them young boys been playing. Who you got coming off the bench for the Nuggets other than the Westbrook? Who you got? Who makes a difference coming off that bench? That Nuggets bench is not deep at all. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook does a lot for him. Yes, you got Hartenstein, you got Chet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Joker. Yeah, you got. You know what I'm saying? You got Jalen. You got Luther. You got defensive minded. You got that bench. That bench coming off with points. I mean, that defense for OKC is relentless. So I'm surprised at all four of y'all not giving respect to the OKC. This is the reason why I'm spending so much time right now with this, because y'all don't have faith in the young Pacers or OKC. And I truly believe, my guests, y'all all wrong on this one, especially with the Western Conference. That's all I got to say. I'm going to move on. Thank y'all for questions 1 through 4. Now I want to know my fifth and last question, y'all. Who do you believe should receive the MVP award for this 24-25 season? Lil T, talk to me.
This one was tough because how many Jokic got already? He got 3?
He got 3.
I don't think they're gonna give him any more. I think he's gonna get the bronze treatment. I don't think they're gonna give him any more. But his numbers are ridiculous.
Right.
So
who you think should get it?
I don't. Shea's numbers were good too, but Jokic is like consistent.
Right.
And who else is in the running? I got those two. Who am I missing?
Well, you got those two. And to be honest with you, well, they talk about Jason Tatum, but that's some people talk about him. And it's not really too much.
It's probably going. I'm going to lean shade on it because Joker got voters fatigue. He's going to get voters fatigue. He can't keep getting it over and over. And if they do give it to him over and over, that's unfair because they didn't do that with other players. So it's going to be Shea. Shea's going to get it. And the OKC had the best record. Like you said, they're a young, hot team. Just to double back real quick, because I can't let you get away with that one. For the last question you asked,
right?
Depth matters, but in the playoffs, everybody knows your bench gets shorter. You got a very short rotation in the playoffs. So I don't know if the bench is gonna. I don't know if the Pacers and OKC being so deep outside of injuries is gonna make a huge difference in the playoffs. Like I really feel that way. I just had to give a little rebuttal to that. But other than that, I'm gonna go Shea. I'm gonna go Shea MVP.
Shea MVP. Okay. Thank you for that response. Same question, Rel. Who you believe is gonna get the MVP this season?
I believe they're gonna give it to SGA. Pretty much for the same reason of like the fatigue, because I believe that's something similar happened with Embiid a few years ago. And also since they're like the top seed, also I believe it makes the most sense for them to do the whole politic thing and give it to SGA, even though I'm a big Brunson guy. So yeah.
Okay, so we got 2-2. Shea. Same question, Caleb. Who's getting MVP? Who should get MVP?
Shea. I think Shea gonna get it.
Okay.
They got the best record, and I think when Jokic was coming back in the I think for the most of the season it was Shea and Jokic, and then I think Jokic started to make a case for him to get it over Shea. But then I think the Nuggets started losing a couple games towards the end of the season, and I think that's when Shea took off, and I think Shea gonna get it.
Okay, all right. So we got 3. Lil Tom, who you believe, Thomas, is gonna be the MVP this year?
I think they gotta, we're in a transition of You know, with the NBA and the new faces coming in to be the faces. And I think it's the appropriate time to go ahead and, you know, show Alexander that love and give him that MVP. You know, and I don't think that makes him the face of the league, because, you know, Anthony Edwards is still there right now, but, you know, I think that he deserves it. And, you know, when that team is breaking down during games, he's there just being solid every time. Like, I've never seen nothing like that. Like, you know, probably since Kobe. Like, this dude, like 30 before the fourth quarter, like keeping his team in the game. Anthony Edwards, he be spotty sometimes, and you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, the Joker, he's got 3 already. I think people need to really like pay attention to what's happening with him, because we haven't seen nothing like him before. You know, but you know, it reminds me of back and when you know, Steve Nash got his MVPs. And people felt like it might have should have went to Shaq one year, or it might have should have went to Kobe one year. Unfortunately, we can only give it to one. But when I look back at those years, and I recently went back and looked over those games, those key games in the season and the key games in the playoffs, although MVP is just off the season, Steve Nash deserved them. Like, he was just so valuable to that team, to the point where he missed 10 games on an injury, Steve Nash, and they lost 9 of them. So
yeah, I remember that.
I feel like that would be OKC without Alexander. Without Alexander, they're losing way more games, and they're not even the team they are. If you take out the Joker, you know, they might still be in there. You know what I'm saying? But you take out Alexander from OKC, and it's over. It's done. It's done for him. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Alexander.
All right. So everybody's going with Shea, and I'm going with Shea too, for these reasons, because Shea gets it hands down in my books. The NBA season began. Can't hear me? Y'all can hear me? Can't hear me? Oh, boy. You can hear me now? You can hear me now? All right. Okay. All right. Let it out.
You spoke on the idea that, you know, you felt so surprised that the entire panel here, you know, didn't pick OKC.
True.
Or didn't pick the Pacers.
True.
Right? And, you know, the whole idea of winning a ring in today's time, after LeBron joined Miami, after he got with Kyrie, and we started seeing these quote unquote super teams, right?
Right.
Right. And so it's like, no one's winning a ring without 2 players that can drop 30 no more. And so you tell me who on OKC or who on the Pacers is going to step up and even give that extra 30, 25 plus. I don't see it happening, because on the Pacers offense is find that open man. We ain't seen a ring won off of that offense. That type of offense, just find an open man. Because the scorer is the scorer. The killer is the killer. The role players is the role players. And if you got the role players taking too many shots, you're not getting a ring. That's how I see it. When it comes to the other side, OKC, they got a nice squad, but who is stepping up as that number 2 guy and giving them 25, 30? Who's doing that?
Well, Jalen Williams. You got Jalen Williams. You got Chet.
You feel like either one of them, or either one of them giving you 25, 30 plus per game.
Not consistently.
Not consistently. That's why Kyrie Irving was so special. That's why, you know, Klay Thompson. That's why the greats are the greats, because in today's time, you need 2 players at least to give you 25, 30 plus consistently every game if you get in a ring. So that's why I count those 2 teams out. Siakam, amazing. Love him. Everybody, all the supporting cast on the Pacers, love them. Even they PG, love them. But I don't even look at their number one player as like that dude. So that's my thought process. I wanted to put that out.
All right, well, I'm glad you did. I hear you loud and clear. And the reason why I'm going with Shea for the MVP is because he's been doing the damn thing since the NBA regular season began in October, and he didn't stop all the way to the last 82nd game. Whereas the Joker, he didn't start off the season smoking. He picked it up like just before All-Star break, and then he went from there. Whereas Shea's been doing it the whole entire season. That's why he gets the MVP in my books. And I'm going to leave it like that. I want to thank all four of y'all for your responses for all 5 questions. Appreciate y'all as always. Now I want to open up the floor real quick. Lil T, you got 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say to get off your sports chest. If you got nothing to say, you got nothing to say. But if you got anything you got to say, get it off your chest. You got 2 minutes. Go.
I will say, I think it's cool, and I think you could kind of see it in our responses, as a panel to a lot of these questions where we've added a lot of, like, the NBA has got a lot more exciting recently, for a lot of different reasons, like a lot of player movement, a lot of young guys coming in that are like overachieving or playing better sooner than we thought they would. So I love that for the league. Like, I think the NBA was like really enjoyable. All the playoff series were really good to watch. Like, it's not like I was just only watching the Lakers. Like, if I catch another one, it was enjoyable.
Right.
So I think that's important. Like, I think that's very important because, I'm a diehard basketball fan. I love basketball, and I just felt like the NBA, just the last couple of years, nobody really cared as much. Like, even the Celtics championship was like, like nobody really cared. That Jason Tatum wanted to have his fake Kevin Garnett moment. Like, nobody really cared. Denver's championship was all right. Like, but it's just, it's fun again. It's fun again. So I like that we get to have these conversations and we get to have these different opinions. But I agree with Lil Tom to double back since I'm not gonna use the full 2 minutes, but I gotta agree with him in that I didn't really think of it in that way. But yeah, those 2 young teams, I get your point of view. I think they're super talented and I think they have a lot of heart and they have like motors, both those teams, but that's only going to get you so far. Like, with a shorter rotation and with star players on the floor, like, you have a half-court offense, and you got Yoke and Murray, who already won a championship together, going against OKC. This is the same reason why you picked them to beat the Clippers, and the Clippers were a great opponent. Like, I thought the Clippers was going to beat them, but the Jokic and Murray show in the last 2-3 minutes of a close game, OKC can't do nothing with that. There's nothing they can do about that.
I picked the Nuggets to beat the Clippers because I knew James Harden was gonna fade away. You know what I'm saying? And left Kawhi by himself. And that's what took place last night. He started fading away. And I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi did his job. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you for your 2 minutes, Neff. Now, Rel, you got 2 minutes. If you got anything you want to get off your sports chest, Rel, talk to me.
Okay, and this is any sport, not just NBA?
Any sport.
Okay, I have Shadur Sanders starting midway through the season over Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland. I got him and Kuchan Judkins, the running back from Ohio State, who Cleveland drafted. I predict they're going to have a real big year for their division. Also have Quinn Ewers down in Miami taking Tua's starting spot midway through the season. Tua is concussion prone and injury prone. And Quinn Ewers, he has a rocket. He made Texas afterthought, and they went to the playoffs 2 years in a row, like behind him being quarterback. And I feel like he has that energy that Miami could use. Him and Tyreek Hill may put up big numbers this year. And I also got Washington going back deep into the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, you went NFL, which is great. Tyreek Hill seemed like he calmed that ass down, so it looked like he gonna still remain as a Dolphin. right? I'm happy for I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy for Shador. Getting picked 144th was just sad. It was just sad all around, but we already know why that took place. So no need to even get into it. Dad had a lot to do with it. It's just we in a time of 2025. We in a time whereas the hateration is just so high. These are not the 90s where, people was used to dealing with, flamboyancy, and that was his dad. And so here we are in 2025, his dad and plus him, with the fly gold chains, and people ain't trying to owners and managers ain't trying to deal with that shit. So that's the reason why Shador almost didn't get drafted at all. I mean, 144th, no one's seen that. Going into that NFL draft night, it moved up to 29th pick. And I thought I was shaking my head with that. No one saw 144th, Rel. Nobody saw that. But thank you for throwing the NFL out there. Caleb, same thing. 2 minutes. You got anything you want to get off your sports chest? Talk about it.
Yo, I'm so excited. You gave me 2 minutes to say what I gotta say. I've been saying I wanted to get this off my chest like all week. So
Right.
so Braun been my favorite player since forever. I followed him everywhere. Like since third, fourth grade, whatever. And
Right.
I'm one of those guys, diehard Braun fan. So as he's gotten older, I never really had a second favorite player. My second favorite players was like D Wade, Melo. I used to like KG, but they all left before him. And so now it's like, who's my? I never had like the same passion for another player. But this dude, Anthony Edwards, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Like he's already solidified as my next favorite player. I've never liked another player like this. Like besides Braun, like he's different. He's a dog. Like and he's really next up. He's younger than me. That's crazy. Like I think he's like 23. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a crazy take that I know a lot of people is gonna disagree with me, but I think in the future I'll be correct. I'm taking Anthony Edwards over Jason Tatum. He got a different type of dog in him. I know Tatum is nice. He got the skill. And no disrespect to the Celtics and their GM. They did a great job, but Tatum got a better team. And I really believe that if Tatum was in Anthony Edwards' shoes for this series they just played, I don't even think he would have done what Anthony Edwards doing. Like even the shots he was taking, the confidence he had to take and make those shots, the dog he had in him. I don't even think Tatum has that. And Tatum is nice. No disrespect to Tatum. And I know it's a hot take, but I'm taking Anthony Edwards over Tatum. And in the future, I think it will be proven more. But I just want to praise Anthony Edwards. This dude, he the truth. He a dog. I only got 2 minutes, but so that's all I'm gonna say. Also, Tom, yo, that ring is icy, little Tom. I see you. I just wanted to shout out. That's some fire ice you got on your fingers. That's all I wanted to say. But yeah.
All right, Caleb. All right, all right. He got that ant, man. Oh man, you made me. I felt that, man. I felt that. You went back to third grade with LeBron. I felt that. And it was like, yo, like you gonna be like if you would have been if Ant Man didn't come, if we didn't have an Ant Man like you and LeBron being 40 and being 41 in December, it sounded like you was gonna be lost. Like who is gonna replace LeBron if he says this summer I'm retiring? And it sounded like you would have been lost if there was no Ant Man.
Very
Oh
lost.
man,
Absolutely.
I
You
felt
got it right
that.
on it. You right on point. I would have been lost. I don't know what I would go. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. Thomas, you get in the show, and I know you got something, 2 minutes to get off your chest in sports. Talk to me.
Hey, listen, let me go ahead and start my timer for 2 minutes because I know, the show's host might not like some of the stuff I'm saying. He might try to cut me short. So Jarrell, I need my whole 2 minutes in the edit.
We can't see your head. We can't see your forehead. All right, there you go.
See me
Yeah,
now.
I
You
can
can
see
see
you
me
now.
now.
I
All
can
right,
see you
all right.
now.
Okay, all right, all right, all
Yeah, it
right.
sounds like you ready to go through the screen.
I'm ready to go. Hey, listen. Let me go ahead and start my timer. Here we go. It's starting. All right. So look, it's like this. The first 30 seconds, I'm gonna talk about Shador. We gotta talk about Shador.
Okay.
Y'all mentioned it. Much respect for bringing him up. Much love to him and the Sanders family. With that being said, I do believe he deserves to be able to show his skills in the NFL and be given a shot. I don't like how things transpire, but I understand it and I respect it on the NFL's part. When we sign ourselves up as black men to play a part in these in these
Professional sports.
systems in
Right.
professional sports, and I'll
Right.
say systems because they are systems that weren't built by us. And so when we sign ourselves up to play and take part in these systems, we need to understand the rules and we need to understand the guidelines. And with that, we need to play by them to get in. You can't be acting like you win when you ain't in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can't be having your dad and you getting up here talking about, whatever team you go to, they better be ready to make some changes. And whatever team you go to, they better be ready to, or if you go to this team, we getting you up out of there. Like who's gonna want to draft a guy whose dad is saying if he don't like the team, he ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a whole thing to say. And we gotta hold ourselves accountable. And so I'm gonna stop there on Shador. I hope that his career goes well with the chance that he's been given. I'm happy that he's been given a chance and not Colin Kaepernick. And that's that. From there, I got about 20 seconds left. That 2 minutes went quick. And with the 20 seconds, I'm gonna say this. The ice in the veins, like you talk about work hard, you know what I'm saying? The ice that Anthony Edwards has in his veins is the same ice that I expect from LeBron James his whole career. I saw it at points against Detroit in the beginning. After he went to Miami, I didn't see it no more. Okay, this is what a king looks like in the making. We ain't gotta call him the face of the league. He don't gotta call himself that. He don't gotta be dubbed the king. He don't gotta have these rituals going on in the beginning of the game. He can say he don't want to be the face of the league. He can say he don't want to be the king, but we still dubbing him that. This is what a king looks like. This rawness, Caleb, that you see, this is what it looks like. This is why I'm not in support of LeBron. All of this laughing and smiling LeBron was doing in an elimination game. This is why I don't rock with him. You see what I'm saying? Kobe would never. In his last game, 60 points. It was a regular season game. Didn't even matter. You feel me? It's something in the veins. It's ice in the veins that's not there for this player that's there for this player. And I'm so happy that we're no longer having to talk about the Currys and the LeBrons and the KDs anymore. We get to look at who's next and get to look at the future. And so, yeah, I'm happy to see Anthony Edwards stepping into his life, and I hope he continues. I'm happy to see Gildress Alexander. I'm happy to see him. I know I'm going on 3 minutes. I'm almost done here. Uh, you know, but this is what it looks like, Caleb. The young guys in this chat right now who didn't know no better the whole time, calling LeBron their favorite player.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
feel me? Y'all didn't know no better. You know what
There
I'm
you go.
saying? This is what it looks like. A young man who's not trying to go match. He's standing in a room. Did y'all see the video? And see, bro, I want you to clip this, like the streamers. I want you to clip this because we need to clip this, right? This is how we're gonna get the views on the marketing. Okay. There's a difference. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up and say I'm so happy that I was asked to be on this podcast by my dad and with the rest of you guys. I think you all gave, great insight. I think we gotta wait and see what the next 2 months bring, and we're gonna know whose league it is, and we're gonna know what teams are who they are, and basketball is beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's a team sport. And we can have that guy on a team, but if we don't got a number 2 guy that's pulling up in today's time, it ain't gonna matter. And so I'm interested to see who the number 2 guys are gonna be going into this next round
Right.
and going into the finals. I'm interested to see who those numbers is. Jimmy Butler gonna show up tonight?
We gonna see.
We're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what it's all about. The Currys, the Anthony Edwards, the Alexanders, the Jokers, man, this special. But what brings championships is that number 2 and that number 3. And it's really up in the air right now when it comes to the number 2s and the 3s. And so we in for a good one. This might be the best playoffs we've seen in a while.
Well, listen, you said a mouthful. All of y'all said a mouthful. I appreciate y'all. There's a whole entire show. I appreciate you, Lil T, Neff. As always, love you. Rail, you already know, man. You already know. St. Louis, Missouri. You already know. Caleb, Boogie Down Bronx. Appreciate you, Neff. Always. Thomas, the producer. Yes, the creator of the show. Appreciate y'all so much. I want to thank all of y'all for hanging out with me in my basement. To all my viewers and to my listeners, please continue to check me out on my YouTube channel and subscribe. Check me out on my streaming platform, Spotify. We still working on some things, right, Raul, when it comes to that Apple. Also, I'm live every Tuesday, Thursday, TikTok live, 9 p.m. At least I try to be, to give you guys these smoking, entertaining hot topics and sports. Plus, please remember to check out the Even Flow Coffee Company, created to combine the interests of coffee lovers, fashion, and music. And for more information to make a purchase, visit evenflowcoffee.com. As I always say, sports is what keeps this world from going insane, either in a pandemic or no pandemic. Until next time, take care.